Doctor Who is back. Well, not quite yet, but it is right around the corner. We've recently received quite a bit of information about Series 13 after such a long absence of news. This includes the reveal of a new series regular called Vinda, who looks like quite an interesting and exciting character. A series-long story consisting of 6 episodes with an additional 3 specials, a first trailer featuring some exciting new footage, and finally, the announcement that this will be Jodie Whittaker's and Chris Chibnall's last series. With all of this though, we still don't know too much about the upcoming series. Series 13 is rumoured to be released in October, which is right around the corner from now, so to buy the time whilst we all wait, I thought I'd highlight what I'd like to see in the new series. I previously did this with Series 12 and most of my hopes were included in the series, so fingers crossed the same happens with Series 13. As a quick warning, I will be talking about leaks and filming pictures in this video, so if you don't want heavy spoilers for the new series then please click away now. So, without further ado, here is a list of 5 things that I'd like to see in Series 13. Returning monsters. Now firstly, I realise that this is a given, especially because of the leaked filming pictures and because it was confirmed in the San Diego Comic-Con panel that they enjoyed filming with some old monsters. However, I'm going to go into detail about each of the confirmed returning monsters and what I want to see from them. First up, we have the Sontarans. The Sontarans have kind of just been used as a comedic element in recent years, which isn't really how they should be treated at all. The only prominent Sontaran that we've had was Strax, who, although fun, didn't do the Sontaran race justice. They were at their prime in the Sontaran Stratagem and the Poison Sky, where they were scheming and ruthless beings. In this new series, I want them to be an actual threat, and judging by the filming pictures that have been seen, it seems like this will be the case. Speaking of filming pictures, the Sontarans have a brand new look which is much more akin to the classic design. It makes them look much more threatening than the blue design from the RTD era. We still haven't seen what they look like with their helmets off, so that will be exciting to see. As well as that, the Sontarans have been seen filming in both modern day and the Crimean War, so how they've time travelled is very interesting. All in all though, I'm really hoping that they make a big comeback and become a proper threat again in the new series. Next up, we have the Weeping Angels. We saw one very recently in the Timeless Children in the prison, however that was just a brief cameo. The last time we saw them as a prominent threat in a story was The Angels Take Manhattan, which was 9 years ago. It's about time that they got another story to themselves, and I'm hoping that their inclusion in the series will live up to expectations. Personally, I'm hoping for a full-on horror story with them to really showcase how scary they are. With the new cameras and visual effects team, I reckon they could really make the Weeping Angels scary again. We've seen a few filming pictures of them which were first thought to be from the Lonely Assassins game. However, when one was spotted next to Jodie Whittaker on a beach, it was pretty obvious that they'd be making a return in Series 13. I'm presuming that this first shot from the trailer is the Doctor coming face to face with a Weeping Angel. Whatever they decide to do with them in the series, it'll be great to have them back in some capacity, as a proper story with them is long overdue. And finally, we have the Daleks. This being Chibnall's final series of the show, I think we all assumed they'd be back. There have been 2 Dalek stories in the Chibnall era which have both been broadcast on New Year's Day. With the confirmation of the Daleks and one of the recently confirmed specials being announced to be on New Year's Day, I think it's likely that the Daleks will be back to complete a trilogy of stories. To me, this is quite exciting as I've really enjoyed both of the Dalek stories that Chris Chibnall has written, especially Revolution of the Daleks, which featured some of the best Dalek action in quite a long time. With the destruction of the defense drones and SAS Daleks, I'm not sure where they could take the story next in the final installment of the trilogy, but one thing that I am really happy about is that Jodie's regeneration episode probably won't have the Daleks as the main threat. The Daleks have been the cause of the Doctor's regeneration too many times in my opinion, and even a brief appearance of them in regeneration episodes like Twice Upon a Time is getting a bit tiresome. So all in all, I'm really happy to see them back, and I'm hoping that Chibnall concludes the Dalek trilogy with a bang. With all of these returns, I'm mainly just hoping that new and interesting things are done with them, and they're not just being brought back for the sake of it. However, as Chibnall has written the Daleks, the Cybermen and the Master incredibly well so far, I've got a lot of faith. The interesting thing for me is that with this series being one long story spread over 6 episodes, how do the Sontarans, the Weeping Angels and the Daleks all fit together? Are they in an alliance or maybe something else? Who knows, but whatever happens, I'm really excited to see what Chibnall does with these returning monsters in Series 13. Effective cliffhangers and high stakes. Although it's technically 2 points, they sort of play into each other. It's recently been confirmed in the San Diego Comic-Con panel that the series will have lots of cliffhangers, some of these being Chris Chibnall's favourite. As the structure of the series is one long story told over 6 episodes, I'm assuming that each episode will end with a cliffhanger, which sounds really exciting. However, these cliffhangers need to be effective in creating shock and drawing the audience back in for next week's episode. Something akin to the Master reveal in Series 12 would be amazing. Character and monster reveals, as well as shocking deaths, always make for the best cliffhangers in my opinion, such as the Daleks at the end of Bad Wolf and the Flesh Doctor at the end of The Rebel Flesh. So hopefully we'll see some of these pop up in the series. I can imagine the Weeping Angels turning up would make for a great cliffhanger, or maybe the Doctor, Yaz, and Dan could be cornered by a group of Sontarans with no way out. With returning monsters, an epic 6-part story, the regeneration of the 13th Doctor, and the assumption that this will be Yaz and Dan's last series, I'm confident that Series 13 will deliver exciting cliffhangers and even bigger stakes. Darker moments for the Doctor. Many of the complaints made against Jodie's Doctor is that she hasn't had any big defining speeches or darker moments. However, I personally believe that Chibnall was building to that. With previous Doctors, we've seen their darker side pretty early on, especially Matt Smith, who was shown to get angry in The Beast Below, which was only his 2nd episode. Till now, Jodie has mainly been quite light-hearted with small moments of anger, but recently we've seen her characterisation of the Doctor get a lot darker and more serious. This is very much apparent in the second half of Series 12 when the Doctor is faced against the Cybermen, the Master, and the truth about who she is. She even resorts to pushing the Master over and belittling her companions at points. I think Jodie is going to be the opposite of the 12th Doctor. 12 started off dark and miserable and gradually got more lighthearted, but I think Jodie is going to get more serious as time goes by, and we've already seen evidence of this in recent episodes. Faced with the uncertainty of herself, as well as a bundle of returning monsters and possibly the Master, I think we will definitely see a darker side to the Doctor in this series. In fact, we might have already gotten a glimpse of this in the trailer, in which Yaz says to the Doctor that she's hiding something from her. Jodie is a brilliant actor, and I know she has the acting potential to make these darker moments shine. With this being her final series, I reckon we're going to see some standout moments for her Doctor which will define her era, and because of that, I'm very excited for Series 13. Return of the Roof Doctor and the Master. I couldn't make a list of things I wanted to see in the new series without these two. The Roof Doctor and the Master have been very highly regarded in the Chibnall era, despite the little screen time that they've both had, especially the Roof Doctor. Both of these characters made their debut in Series 12, and ever since, people have been asking for more from them. I'm already confident that both of these characters will appear in some capacity, especially as this is Chibnall's final series. We still need to figure out exactly where the Roof Doctor fits in, and we need to know what the Master is up to with the Cybermasters, as we know that they escaped, so it's highly likely that they will pop up. I think including both of these in Jodie's final episode would be a great idea, as they're two of the most defining characters from this era, so it's only fitting that they'd appear in Chibnall's final story of his run, especially as it's also the BBC's centenary as well. In terms of what I'd like to see from both of these characters, I'd like to see the Roof Doctor be more than just exposition and a guide for the Doctor. I want to see her fighting monsters and outwitting aliens. I was really disappointed that she only popped up briefly in the finale of Series 12, so I'm really hoping that she has more to do in this next series. She's also connected to the Timeless Children storyline, so it's likely that she's got to have quite a bit of screen time in this series. As for the Master, I think Sacha Dhawan does an exceptional job. So far, we've seen quite a lot of mad moments from him, but I'd really like some quieter and methodical moments from him, so his main character trait isn't just being mad and silly. I can see him being the cause of the 13th Doctor's regeneration, as he's sort of been set up as the big bad of this era, along with the Cybermasters, which need to make a welcome return. I think for this next series to really go out with a bang and truly mark the end of the Chibnall era, it really does need to include both the Roof Doctor and the Master. The Timeless Child. Divisive though it may be, this being Chibnall's final series, I'm expecting some exploration and development of the Timeless Child storyline. There's so much more to explore with this. What is the division? How many Doctors have there been? What was on the other side of the portal that the Doctor fell through? And where does the Roof Doctor fit into all of this? I think people were too quick to judge the story from just the Series 12 finale. We were only introduced to it in that episode. It'll be the answers to these questions in the upcoming series that really sell the idea, and hopefully these are explored in great detail. My only fear is that with only 6 episodes, 3 specials, and a large roster of characters and monsters to cover, the series could feel too overcrowded, which has been a common complaint of a lot of the Chibnall era. The storyline needs to have a lot of screen time and can't be rushed either, otherwise the Timeless Child storyline will feel underdeveloped and anticlimactic. I have a feeling that the next 6 episodes won't focus on it too much, but the 3 specials will, so hopefully this storyline is done justice and has a fitting and satisfying conclusion that doesn't feel too rushed. So that's 5 things that I'd like to see in Series 13. There's lots of high hopes and expectations for the series, and although some of these might not come true, I'm confident that this will be a fantastic series to end Jodie's run as the Doctor. I'd love to hear your thoughts and hopes for the new series in the comment section below. Keep it respectful, kind, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.